Welcome to Just Asia, AHRC TV's weekly human rights program. These are the headlines. Human Rights Day 2016. More than 4,000 killed in the Philippines drug war. Pakistan see no human rights improvement in 2016. Thai student activist faces less measures charged for sharing BBC article. Human rights protection not official policy in Indonesia. Urgent appeal from Pakistan. Welcome to AHRC TV's Just Asia. I'm April Wong. This week, Just Asia focuses on International Human Rights Day, celebrated annually on December 10th. It commemorates the day on which the Universal Declaration of Human Rights was adopted in 1948. The UN theme for this year's Human Rights Day is Stand Up for Someone's Rights Today. At a time when intolerance and violence is on the rise, Human Rights Day 2016 called on everyone to reaffirm our common humanity and take a stand for human rights. The AHRC Basil Fernando shares a message on the situation in Asia.
Everywhere in Asia, people are facing very serious forms of peril. Peril of their jobs and the real incomes are ever deteriorating, which means that livelihood problems regarding running of families, education of children, health issues, all these are in crisis. Besides that, the nature itself is in peril. The forests are being deforested, the animals are being huge scale destroyed, and the kind of development that is going on is like that. And added to this, there is large scale grabbing of land. Now, state, instead of solving problems, increases repression in this. The police are used to suppress people, the torch has increased, disappearances have increased, illegal arrest and detention has increased. That's Asia. In the midst of this, the only saving factor is that the people coming for to help each other. Solidarity is the only way out. We must stand up for everyone who is facing peril, because that is the only way we can save ourselves. Either we should help each other, or we have to go down also together. And that is what we want to prevent. If we want to prevent that, the freedom of speech, the defying of censorship, finding out truth about what has happened to us and talking it out, this is the only way out.
In the Philippines, 6 months after President Duterte was elected and began his crackdown on drugs, more than 4,000 people have been killed. Of these, only 400 deaths are being investigated. Human rights groups claim that it is the poor and marginalized who are being targeted, rather than drug dealers or pushers. The police, meanwhile, claim that they only shoot those who resist arrest or in self-defense. For President Duterte, innocent civilians or children killed are simply collateral damage in the war he is waging against criminality. Just Asia speaks to Danilo Reyes for more information.
In the current government's campaign on war against drugs, they consider them as collateral damage, and this is the promise of the current administration to eradicate illegal drugs trade and drugs use. So those are necessary deaths according to the government's explanations. These killings targeting drug dealers and drug users is a de facto policy by the current government. This was President Duterte's political promise during campaign period that he would eradicate drug dealers and users. And this also is made into policy by the Philippine National Police called Oplan Tokang, or double barrel policy. So these police operations are conducted with a clear instructions from the PNP, and those who, according to the police version, resist arrests or shoot it out with the police, they are killed, and they claim that they are legitimate encounters necessary to protect the police officers. But there are allegations that these killings are instigated by the police themselves, even though the suspects or the drug dealers did not resist arrests. So the open threat by President Duterte against human rights activists and advocates is unprecedented. We have not seen any precedent since the fall of Marcos who makes such open threat in a democracy, and it's a serious concern because it provides justifications for those who may have something against human rights offenders to target them. So now it's both drug dealers and users and those who defend the rights of these suspected criminals who are being targeted, sanctioned by the government itself.
In Pakistan, human rights defenders are being increasingly targeted for speaking out. They are branded as traitors and foreign agents and are ostracized and blacklisted. The year 2016 has not seen any change from the previous years in terms of human rights protection, despite efforts from civil society and activists. Custodial torture, extrajudicial killings, violence against women and minorities all continue unchecked. Pakistan continues to top all the wrong indexes on gender disparity, infant mortality, and the number of executions. With more than 400 hangings since the lifting of the moratorium on executions, Pakistan ranks third in the number of executions behind Saudi Arabia and China. Given the serious fair trial concerns in the country, executions are travesties to justice. The Ghulam brothers' case is a shocking example of the severity of miscarriage of justice in the country. Exactly 1 year after the two brothers were hanged, Pakistan's Supreme Court declared them innocent. Finding several anomalies in several witness accounts, the court acquitted and exonerated the brothers of all charges, only to find they had already been hanged despite their appeal pending in the Supreme Court. Just Asia speaks to Basil Naveed for details.
In Pakistan, the judiciary has never been independent. It has worked under the powerful institutions, particularly under the military. And you know that Pakistan is an ideological country. What they say that we are Islamic country. So that's why they always think in that way, not in the justice way. They always think that we have to do according to the framework of whatever the explanation of Islam. So they work under that. So as far as the question of that Rahman brothers, when it comes, it is that they have thought in way of Islamic way, not in the way of that justice should be provided or there should be any fair trial or to go with the other arguments. What judiciary did, they were just following what actually Supreme Court did this thing, because they were following the decisions of lower courts where there is no fair trial, particularly in that session courts and above to that, then nothing is a fair trial. They are forced to confess the statements like that through torture. Police do this thing, taking confessional statement, and that the witnesses are also just molded by the police. So they were, and you can see that they were hanged, and after 1 year, then Supreme Court found that they are innocent. Actually, there should be rule of law. If there are laws, then it should be implemented. And in Pakistan, laws are not bad, though some laws are that which need some betterment, but the laws should be followed. There is constitution. Constitution should be followed. If we go through the 100 years old criminal justice system, so there should be no relief for human rights. There should be no respect for human rights, because that is still the police, which is the main factor of this criminal justice system, is still police follow the torture to get the confessional statement, and the prisoners or arrested person has to confess, otherwise one can know that extrajudicially anybody can be killed. So no rule of law in the country. The rule of law should be followed. The judiciary must be given the independent way that should be independent. Judiciary must be independent, and that should not depend on other institutions. And there should be much more and strong reforms in the policing system and prosecution system. So these are the factors through which the human rights can be followed or can be given to the people.
In Thailand, student activist Jatupat Bonpatarasak has been accused of defaming the Thai monarch after sharing a BBC Thai article on the country's new king Vajiralongkorn. The 25-year-old student of Khon Kaen University and a key member of the pro-democracy groups Dao Din and New Democracy Movement, Jatupat was arrested on December 3rd and taken to the Khon Kro Provincial Police Station, Chayunpan, northeastern Thailand. Lieutenant General Pitafong Chusiri has accused Jatupat of the last majesty offense under Article 112 of the Criminal Code and imparting false information on the Internet under the Computer Crime Act. Jatupat, popularly known as Pai Dao Din, shared the BBC article without making any comments on it. Jatupat was later taken to the Nampon police station and detained overnight. On December 4th, the police took him to the Khon Kaen court to request a pre-trial detention. His lawyer applied for bail with a 400,000 baht surety, which was granted by the court. He was later released on unconditional bail. Given the harsh punishment on the last majesty offense, Jatupat could face up to 15 years imprisonment. Jatupat already faces 4 additional lawsuits related to his freedom of expression and assembly in opposition to the junta's orders. Since he began studying law at Khon Kaen University in 2010, Jatupat has been an advocate for the poor people of northeastern of Thailand. Pai Dao Din has become a symbol of young human rights defenders fighting against the coup and calling for rights and freedom in Thailand. For more information, Just Asia interviewed Jatupat Bonpatarasak, a member of Dao Din and New Democracy Movement.
แต่ปัญหาในเรื่องของการจับกุมเนี่ยผมโดนละเมิดสิทธิ์หลายอย่างเช่นการที่ไม่ให้ผมบอกว่าผมอยู่ที่ไหนคือการคุมตัวมาตอนแรกบอกว่าจะมาที่สพเมืองขอนแก่นแต่ปรากฏว่าก็พาผมไปไหนไม่รู้แล้วก็ถ้าผมแจ้งบอกญาติบอกพ่อบอกแม่อันที่2เนี่ยจะไม่ให้ผมพบทนายคือผมมีทีมทนายมารออยู่แล้วแต่ว่าพอไปถึงเขาตำรวจมีทนายของเขามาแล้วก็จะไม่ให้ผมพบทนายนี่คือสิทธิของผู้ต้องหาที่ได้รับผมก็โดนแล้วก็เรื่องโทรศัพท์มือถือในบันทึกประจำวันก็ไม่ไปบันทึกจับกุมไม่มีมือถือแต่ว่ายึดมือถือไปนะครับซึ่งวันที่6 ธันวาที่ผ่านมาผมก็เลยไปแจ้งลงบันทึกประจำวันแล้วก็อายัดเลยเรียบร้อยแล้วครับสิ่งที่มันเป็นเรื่องที่สำคัญมากนะครับที่มนุษย์พึงมีเพราะฉะนั้นเราควรให้ความสำคัญกับเรื่องสิทธิชนซึ่งถึงแม้ว่าวันนี้มันจะยากมากกับการที่ได้มาทุกสิทธิ์แต่สิทธิมันก็ต้องได้มาจากการที่เราต่อสู้เพราะฉะนั้นผมอยากฝากถึงการต่อสู้เพื่อสิทธิทุกคนแล้วก็ เรื่องในวันศิลป์เนี่ยก็อยากให้ทุกคนตระหนักในเรื่องสิทธิมนุษยชนแล้วก็คือเราต้องสู้เพื่อยืนยันว่าสิทธิมันสำคัญสิทธิมันควรมีกับมนุษย์ทุกคนบนโลกนี้มีสิทธิที่จะยืนบนพื้นแผ่นดินที่เท่าเทียมกัน
Indonesia still faces a lack of human rights protection, despite the government launching its National Mid-term Development Plan, as well as its National Action Plan on Human Rights. 2 years under President Widodo, many cases of human rights violations remain unresolved, including cases of torture, arbitrary arrest and detention, forced eviction and land conflict. Impunity and light punishment for the perpetrators of these violations continue to be a major problem of Indonesian law enforcement. So far, protecting and promoting human rights has yet to become official government policy. Victims and their families continue to suffer, waiting for uncertain justice, many of them getting older and sicker, some even passing away without any rehabilitation or remedy. Meanwhile, President Widodo has close links with many persons involved in past human rights abuses, such as retired Army Lieutenant General Prabowo Subianto, who allegedly committed enforced disappearances against student activists from 1997 to 1998. President Widodo recently sought support from Prabowo to strengthen the government. Earlier, President Widodo appointed retired Army General Wiranto and Riamisaj Yakudu to government posts, despite their involvement in past human rights abuses. To learn more, Just Asia speaks to Mr. Haswandi Andimas, Director of Makassar Legal Aid.
Sebenarnya HAM ini memang adalah sebuah gerakan ya, sebuah gerakan emansipasi nilai-nilai yang memang harus tetap diperjuangkan karena nilai-nilai ini memang sebuah nilai-nilai universal, tetapi sebagai konsekuensi kita hadir di negara Republik Indonesia ini sebagai negara demokrasi ada juga nilai-nilai yang pastinya bertentangan dan berkonflik dengan nilai-nilai kita ini dengan tentunya para pengusungnya ya, baik itu dari kalangan perusahaan, dari kalangan aparatur itu sendiri yang berkolaborasi dengan pemilik modal sehingga kemudian menguasai wacana di kalangan masyarakat sipil, baik itu di masyarakat awam, di lingkungan kampus, itu harus kita rebut. Dan perjuangan ini tiada hentinya harus kita terus lakukan, baik itu dalam bentuk kampanye, tindakan-tindakan konkret untuk bagaimana penegakan hukum, sehingga kemudian masyarakat juga tetap optimis bahwa keadilan itu bisa kita raih dengan perjuangan.
Finally, the Urgent Appeals Weekly features a case from Pakistan. The Pakistan Rangers arrested 80-year-old veteran Sindhi nationalist leader Ustad Muhammad Rahimun from his home in Sindh province on November 23rd. Since then, his whereabouts are unknown. His friends and family fear that the law enforcement will kill him and make his death look like a heart attack. That is all for this episode of Just Asia. For more on this and other issues, please visit www.humanrights.asia or www.alrc.asia/justasia. Thank you for watching and see you next week.